Hey guys, so this is Eric from Thai Crew, and today we're going to talk about marketing your business in Thailand. So, you've probably thought about starting a business in Thailand. You're probably wondering, damn, how am I going to get customers? And if you haven't asked yourself that question, then you should have asked yourself that question before you've made any kind of plans at all. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about, like the language, what kind of business you should avoid, what kind of business you should pick, and actually, where are the best places to market your business. So let's begin. So what are some of the kind of businesses that you should stay away from? Well, obviously there's a list of restricted businesses which we'll put in the description in this video down below. Things like massage parlors and all of that kind of stuff. You don't want to get into those businesses because they're restricted to foreigners. Only Thai people can do that. Another one is like farming. So you can't grow stuff, but you can actually sell stuff. So you have to be aware of the distinctions. Please read that list very carefully down below. I would say normally you should stay away from restaurants. There's just so many restaurants. Thailand is like the foodie place in the world. I would say stay away from restaurants unless you're going to offer some compelling kind of cuisine. For example, I have some friends who have Italian restaurants and Jamaican restaurants who do very well here because this is not the normal kind of cuisine in Thailand. And there are a lot of visitors that are coming to Thailand that want to, eat some of that food as well. So it's a good idea to have those kind of restaurants here. And especially if you can find a good location, that's the second factor within restaurants. Matter of fact, that's the first factor in restaurants. If you can find a good location, then it will actually work. But most restaurants are in bad locations, silly menus, and they end up closing in a very short period of time. So don't do restaurants. I would say also stay away from cannabis. And people are saying, oh, Erickson, you're so crazy. Cannabis is the big thing. Actually, no. Actually, what's happening is the government is actually cracking down back on cannabis again. And, they kind of said that, hey, it was kind of a big mistake to get into this whole thing in the first place. And if you've ever been driving around Bangkok or any one of the other provinces anywhere, it seems like for every block there's like a cannabis store, and always it's pretty empty except for one or two people who have sort of built up a kind of vibe around their store, so it's always crowded. But like 90% of the stores are empty all the time, and then 10% of the stores are crowded because those are the ones that people go and have the most fun at. So obviously explore it for yourself and see what's going on. But I would say that market is kind of overcrowded right now. Next one is retail. The caveat to this one is if you're selling stuff that's not common in Thailand. I'm not saying you can't sell stuff that's already being sold in Thailand. Obviously you can, right? But if it's like very common all over the place and it's a commodity, it's going to be much more difficult for you because you're just going to be competing on price. So you don't want to compete on price if you're starting a business in Thailand. Okay, you want to compete on service, you want to compete on how fast you can get the service or the product to businesses and so on. Try to stay away from those kind of business or use that criteria when you're picking a business. So the best kind of business to start in Thailand, I would say, are service businesses. You can start a bar. I would not recommend it. It's a business. If you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money. But if you don't know what you're doing, so this is what's happening. All those bars that you know so well in Pattaya and those other places where there's a lot of bars, they're usually just owned by a few people. Like there's one guy or lady who cracked the code on how to operate a bar in Thailand, and then they just keep repeating that formula again and again and again. That's how it works. Unless you strike gold and you have the perfect location and the perfect girls in the bar. Yeah, the girls in the bar are there for a reason to sell liquor, despite what you might think. Unless you have that formula, try to stay away from bars. But I know a lot of people that are successful in bars, but you just have to know what you're doing. So educate yourself on that before you go ahead and say, oh, I want to start a bar in Koh Samui or something like that, and then nobody comes and you're like, wow, this is like I'm just having this thing and this thing is not making any money. All right, so service businesses are awesome to start. Almost any kind of service business will work, except those that are not on the restricted list, and you'll be fine with that. So let's talk about some of the differences before we jump into the various channels that you can use for marketing in Thailand. So what are some of the differences between your country, like a typical Western country, or a more advanced country like Japan or Korea or Singapore or something like that? What are some of the differences that you can expect here? Number one is language. Whatever you do, you have to be able to speak in Thai and English, unless you're going for exclusively foreign customers, which some businesses do. I mean, there's so many foreigners in Thailand that speak English, and so many Thai people as well, that you could get away with doing that. But like, if you really want to take your business to the next level, you have to be able to translate your websites, have somebody answer on the phone that can speak Thai and English just as well, and even other languages such as Chinese, and Japanese, depending on who the customers are that you're going for. So language is a big factor. The other one is pricing. It's well known that there are some things that are more expensive in Thailand than other countries, and that's fine. And if you can get away with that, that's good. But if you're competing with Thai companies, then you're gonna have a hard time with pricing unless you're willing to put your prices down. Because, I mean, let's just say it might not sound that great, but Thai people are going to expect to pay lower prices than what you had in mind. So there you are. Like, we have wonderful businesses here. We pride ourselves on paying our staff better salaries than local companies. But at the same time, we have to compete with those local companies who pay their staff a lot less. So we are unable to get some kind of jobs. So, we kind of stick into the middle ground and say, okay, you know what, we are fine with that. We'll stay on the upper end, pay our staff well, get great reviews and all of that kind of stuff. It is what it is. So if you're that's why I said earlier, don't compete on price that much if you can get away with it. If you can run with it, don't compete on price. Compete on quality of service, quality of product, all of those things. All right, let's get into the meat of the matter, the part that you're waiting for, and is where to market your business, where to promote your business. Number one, before we jump into that list, we're going to talk about something that is like a lot of people don't do. A lot of people come and start a business here and never promote it and just expect people to walk in. It's the same as in any other country. Unless you're starting a business in a very, very high foot traffic area, then come on. Even then, you got to get somebody to step outside of the business and hold up a sign or something like that to get people to walk in. Okay, or put a street sign out there, put a sidewalk, one of those sidewalk things that you stand up on the sidewalk telling people that hey, we are here. You have to do something. You have to put up a website. I mean, come on, seriously? At least a Facebook page. You got to do something. I would say a website is better. Facebook is like kind of overcrowded and you can't really do much with it. So get a website set up at least, even if it's super, super simple. Get yourself on Google My Business. Get yourself listed there as well. That is super important. And of course, you got to translate everything into Thai and English at a minimum, depending on who you want to reach to. For example, Thai Crew, we are only in English because it makes sense. So all customers are not Thai people at all. So, but there are certain things that we do advertise for that we need Thai people. For example, our city guides, we have to advertise all of that in Thai. We have to set up those pages in Thai and so on. So you got to pick your battles. You got to know what you're doing. All right, let's jump into the list, and we're going to start with the most effective things first. And the most effective ones, especially if you have some kind of service business, is Google Ads. Run Google Ads. It's much cheaper than in, let's say, the CUDA countries. That's Canada, United States, Australia, Europe, UK. It's much, much cheaper than those. It's not like dirt cheap down into the ground, but you're going to have a lot of success with Google Ads. Run Google Ads in Thai and in English. And of course, in the beginning, it's going to take you a while to crack the formula of what kind of ads to put out there, what the subject line should be and what the offer in the ad should be. If you have a kind of a business where you need people to make a decision right away, okay, for example, like cleaning, like travel, like, something like that, where they need the service. No, they're specifically looking for the service. I need somebody to fix my garden. I need somebody to clean my car. I need somebody to fix my car. That's perfect for Google Ads. So you can do that, and I would say just set it up, adjust it, tune it until you get it to the point where it's working well, and then just keep running it. And every now and again, every month or so, you look at it again and say, hey, maybe I need to add some more keywords. Maybe I need to change the way of the ad. Maybe I need to change the photo in the ad or something like that. So that is super, super important. important for high intent customers. For customers with not so much of a high intent, but is very, very effective anyway, it's Facebook. A lot of Thai people use Facebook more so than Google. Okay, there's just a lot of Facebook activity here in Thailand. Can't get away from it. So for example, tons of huge Facebook groups here. They're all in Thai. There's other groups that deal with foreigners and stuff like that as well. You can use those. You can, become a member of the groups. You can advertise on Facebook. Ads on Facebook, if you get the right kind of ad, works well. The only difference with Facebook, I would say, is pricing, because it's going to be mostly Thai customers that are coming in from Facebook. Your pricing have to support that and be in line with what others are doing, or demonstrate why your prices are going to be higher. So that's the thing with Facebook. Also with Facebook, you're going to end up using Facebook messaging more than, let us say, driving traffic to your website. Don't drive traffic so much to your website from Facebook. Try to get messaging on Facebook instead, and be very responsive to the messaging. The moment you see a message coming on Facebook from one of your ads, boom, jump on it right away. Don't be waiting around for hours or days or any of that crap. Okay? It's just like, you don't want to do that. Everybody else does that. Stick your head up from the mediocrity of that. Next one is YouTube. YouTube is highly effective for people who are looking with intent to solve a problem. So whatever kind of service you have or product that you have that solve a specific problem that people are looking for on YouTube is gonna do well. Just get in the habit of publishing videos that solve problems, whatever kind of problem you have. Hire somebody to publish some of them in the Thai language, and then you yourself or somebody else on your team can also publish some of them in English language. Depends on who you want your audience to be. You're gonna have to decide on that. Coming back to Facebook as well, just for a second, you got to be publishing all the time. For example, a cleaning company here, we publish almost every day. And what we do is we take pictures of our cleanings that are going on, and we just say, hey, we did this, and this is what happened, and this is the before, and this is the after. And that keeps a lot of traffic coming to our sites, and people contact us from Facebook, and it works well. Okay, you can double post that on Instagram as well, and we even post some on Twitter. Or X is very, very well used in Thailand as well. So that's something to consider. But again, it's not high intent. It's just people come across your stuff, and if they need it, they'll contact you. So therefore, you might find that your conversion rate is on the social medias like Facebook and Instagram and so on might be lower. But you will get customers anyway. So YouTube is pretty good, and YouTube is evergreen. So you post it up there, it solves a problem. And as long as that problem exists in human history, you will get customers from that. Just tell people, click on the link in the description down below, like what I did in this video, and you'll be all set. All right, TikTok can work. We've seen it work. It's not high intent. Like if you're selling a special kind of shoes, right? And somebody come across and say, oh my God, that shoes. And then you're doing the shopping. You set up shopping on TikTok or something like that, or on Instagram for that matter. Then you can sell quite a bit of stuff like that. And especially if you advertise it there and all of that stuff. So that could work. So it's not high intent, but depending on what you're doing, it might make a lot of sense. You have to test out these channels yourself. You have to see your demographics. For example, in Thai Crew, TikTok doesn't work for us because our audience is mostly male, 35 years old and up, and that's not the demographics that use TikTok. Some do, but it's a very small amount. So we can't just go to TikTok and say, hey, we're gonna publish all these videos about Thai Crew there. We are not gonna attract our demographic. We're gonna attract a younger demographic who is probably only wanting to come to Thailand for a 2-week vacation or something like that. And they're not gonna spend money with us. Let's just keep it honest. Just be careful about. So a lot of these things that you've heard me saying so far, this is like normal stuff that you would do in your country as well. And basically, I've been doing online stuff for for a long time now, 10, 20 years, something like that. And, I have a lot of experience in that area. And this is stuff that you do everywhere in the USA, in Jamaica, in Canada. It works the same. It works the same in Thailand. Just layer on language and the pricing level onto it. So those are some of the places that you market. One other thing I should say, and I should not leave out, There's a lot of people say, oh, Erickson, nobody uses email anymore. Jesus, no, come on, guys. I mean, of all the things that I put on this list so far, I would move email to the top. And by email, I don't mean cold email. I don't mean emailing people that you've never met before. I'm talking about bringing customers back. Your customers already back to you. Setting up some kind of newsletter, and not some kind of crappy newsletter, but a newsletter that actually solves problems, tells about your experiences and so on. So it's kind of personal to the people. They'll come back to you. You know, we've seen with the cleaning company here and other kinds of businesses, just having a drip campaign that just goes out regularly to our existing customers. Oh man, it brings customers back. Hey, I need a new cleaning now. I just saw your email about this. Can you do that for me? Sure. Yes, of course. In Thai, in English. You can just do English alone. A lot of Thai people already can speak English. If you have a large English customer base, then it makes sense. If you're Thai, if your customer base is mostly Thai, then try to do it in Thai as well. But newsletters work extremely. Email works extremely well, and you should never discount that. Everybody in the world has an email address, as much as they don't like to admit it. If you're gonna set up any social media account, you need an email to do it. So it's like, come on, guys. It works, and it works quite well. So overall, I mean, if I summarize all of this stuff, it's not much different from other countries. Just think about the language part. So, you know, setting up the language on your website is a bit of a hassle, but you got to do it if you want to compete here. You know, we have platforms and stuff to do that pretty easily. Give good customer service. Like really good customer service. Customer is always right. We have certain principles that we use in all our businesses, wherever they may be. We stick to those principles, and we're very, very harsh about those principles. I mean, I'm not afraid to, like, if customer is not satisfied at all, I'm just gonna refund their money, call it a day and apologize and move on. It's not worth getting bad reviews in Google or Facebook or wherever. Just do that. Don't be nasty to customers or anything like that. Pick up the phone quickly. Like on the first ring or the second ring. Always. Oh my God. So many people don't do that. Pick up the phone, answer the phone, be nice. Find out what they want. Have some empathy. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having that problem. You know what? We can fix that for you. Okay. Be that person. When somebody contacts you in the messenger, whether it's Line or Facebook or WhatsApp, answer them right away in minutes, seconds. Don't wait. You know, don't be the kind of company that says when somebody sends your email, oh, we'll get back to you in 24 or 48 hours. We'll get back to you within 72 hours. Don't be that person. No matter where you are, in Thailand or anywhere else. The thing that we see with all of that, we always say, oh my God, we hear people say, oh my God, I can't believe you got back to me so quickly. Even in Thai crew, even in our other business here in Thailand, just replying to their emails quickly is such a huge difference and puts you above and beyond everybody else. It is so amazing to just do that. And the final thing is, you got to use Line in Thailand. Most people use Line. Yeah, there's some WhatsApp, but it's a tiny bit. People that use WhatsApp are just because they have to talk to foreign people a lot. So foreigners might use WhatsApp more. Facebook Messenger is big here as well, but the biggest, and everybody has Line. And if somebody doesn't have Line, something is wrong. It means that they did something so wrong that they got banned by a Line or some similar situation like that. Okay, but most people use Line. So there's Line Official, which is like a business version of Line, just like you have a business version of WhatsApp. You get that. You sign up for it. You buy your specific handle, and boom, you move on with that. So we'll try to make some more videos about doing business in Thailand. I keep getting asked, how do you hire people in Thailand? So that might be a good one for the next one. And so subscribe if you want to get that one soon. I'm going to try and make it in the next couple of days. And of course, if you want to start a business in Thailand, we would be glad to help you. We have helped quite a few people to set up businesses here, from registering the company, getting them their business visa. And of course, as you know, the business visa is the only way to become a Thailand permanent resident or a citizen in the shortest period of time. If you get married, you can't do it. If you have retirement visa, hell no. Elite visa, nope. It's not gonna happen. Only way to really become a citizen in Thailand is to have a business visa, pay taxes, and in like 3 to 5 years you can become a permanent resident and a citizen. So hit the link in the description below, become our client, and we'll help you to get set up. We've a lot of resources. We can help you with the marketing of your site, of your business in Thailand as well, and help you get set up, find staff for you, find an office for you, or help you set up a completely remote operation if you have no intentions of living permanently in Thailand for the moment. You can still do that and be very successful here. There's just been so many people that have been quite successful in Thailand. All right, so see you next time, guys. Have a good one.